Welcome everybody to the grand Melave Malka of grades 5 through 8. It's so good to see everybody here, and it's so nice that our teachers spend so much energy and so much time putting this great event together. And before long you're going to see how our students take off and manage this whole event and make us all very proud of them. The topic this year for the Melave Malka is Yom Shekulo Shabbat, a day that is completely Shabbat. Interesting sentence it is. We, the Jewish people, who are teachers in the world, and our job is to teach the world about one God, one Creator, have been given a special gift, and that is the gift of Shabbat. And Shabbat is the centerpiece of our week. We prepare for it the whole week. We look for things to put away for Shabbat. And on Shabbat itself, we are very careful about what we do and what we don't do. And that's how we fulfill the mitzvah, Shamor et Yom Shabbat lekadsho, Zachor et Yom Shabbat lekadsho. For me, it's a special day. It allows me to take a break and spend my time reviewing the parasha, reading interesting things about Judaism, and it just gives me an opportunity to lift my neshama higher and higher, something that during the week is very difficult to do. And our greatest hope as a people is that every Jew understand how important Shabbat is, that it is a special treaty between Hashem and His chosen people, and that every time a Jew keeps Shabbat, he's making an amazing statement, and the statement is, Hashem is the Creator. He is our Creator, and He has given us this gift, and has given us the gift of guidance through His Torah of what we have to do. And if we Jews really take that message to heart and do what we need to do, other nations in the world will learn about who is Hashem. And most important of all, the way we keep Shabbat is very important, but we need to know that by keeping Shabbat, Shabbat keeps us. It guards us. It protects us and allows us to be the Jews we're supposed to be. And Jews who do that will usher in a time that is known, a day that is entire Shabbat. That time refers to the time of Mashiach, when Jews world over will not have to struggle so much with the mundane issues of the week, will not have to work so hard to support themselves. And during that time, even on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, they will be able to spend time learning more and more and more Torah. I hope you enjoy the evening. It's my pleasure to see all the happenings of this evening. Thank you.
Shabbat is special to us because we get to share divine Torahs with our families, and every second that we do this, we get a big mitzvah Shabbat. We love Shabbat.
There was a girl that had to go to school daily, even on Shabbat. If she wouldn't have gone to school, then her family would be kicked out of the city and to a worse city where there was barely anything. So this girl, she went outside in the freezing cold weather and got herself sick just so she won't have to go to school on Shabbat.
I love Shabbat because I get to help my siblings dress up nice and neat for Shabbat, and I get to help my mother light the candles, and I get to help set up for the Shabbat table.
The reason that I love Shabbat is that it's the one day that Hashem created in the week that we light candles, we spend time with our family, we eat, and sometimes we dance.
So today we're going to sing our favorite song of Shabbat. We're going to sing Habibi. Habibi, Ya Habibi. I love Shabbat because I get to bake challah and light Shabbat candles with my mom.
I like Shabbos because we spend time with our family.
The reason why we love Shabbat
Shabbat is because once a week we gather around with the family, say Devar Torah, do mitzvah, we love Shabbat.
I remember as a little girl that every single Friday night I would look forward to watching my grandmother light. And my grandmother comes from a very interesting background, and everything would stop. Whenever I would watch her, it's as if the world would totally stop. And she would come to the candles and she would wave her hands around in this magical movement. And she would just cover her eyes and say the bracha. And in that moment, I felt like anything was possible, that the world stood still. Whenever I light candles with my daughters, I'd like to hope that some of that feeling transfers over. And that's a feeling that we try to give to our students in this yeshiva, that the Kedusha of Shabbat, the Kedusha of our Torah, should overflow into their lives. And when they close their eyes, they feel it on the inside, in the neshama. You should see so much nachat from your children.
I love Shabbat because it's a day where you get to spend time with your family, because every day when you go to school, you learn new stuff, but then we get too busy to spend time with your family.
In this week's parsha, Rashi explains the reaction of Leah upon giving birth to her fourth son. She says, "Let me gratefully praise Hashem, for I have received more than my expected share." That's why she called her son Yehuda, for the word Thanksgiving. We should be thankful that we were a Jew and that we were able to celebrate the wonderful Shabbat.
The way I help with the preparations of Shabbat is by setting up the table, lighting the candles, and helping my siblings get dressed properly for Shabbat.
I love Shabbat because I get to spend time with my family and make the salads for Shabbat.
The reason why I love Shabbat is because on Shabbat we get to spend time with our family. On Shabbat we eat our Shabbos meal, and then after we say the Devar Torah. And on Shabbat we play games and have fun.
I love Shabbos because we get to spend time with our family. I love Shabbat because we get to feast on yummy food.
Oh, my foot! Oh my god! Oh my god, I worked too much! My foot is hurting! Ow! Oh my god, my back hurts. I work too much. Why do I work on the weekend? So much pain, so much hard work. You need a doctor.
There's nothing wrong with you guys. You guys just need to get a rest. You guys work too much.
Too much work for you. Keep Shabbat and you'll be on your feet once again.
Shabbat rest is the best!
The reason why I love Shabbat is because I love to enjoy the Shabbat meal with my family and love to see the Shabbat candles lit.
I love Shabbat because I get to light the candles.
I love Shabbat because I spend time with my family.
I love Shabbat because I get to set up the table.
I love Shabbat because I go to shul and learn more Torah.
I love Shabbat because whenever I light the candle, I feel like I have a connection with Hashem, and whenever I cover my eyes, I feel like nothing in the world matters. Like it's only not only nothing matters, but it's only Shabbat matters, and I always thank Hashem for making Shabbat happen, and I always make wishes like that my family should be healthy and to have a great Shabbat and to make the week like good and not to have anything bad happen. And I always say Tehillim a little bit with my mom, so like all the people who have bad things, they can feel better.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
I love Shabbat because my family gets together and we enjoy.
I love Shabbat because I go to my grandma's house and all my cousins are there and we have fun.
I love Shabbat because I go to the park, have fun with my family, and enjoy a nice meal.
We love Shabbat because we get to eat the Shabbat meal, and we get to spend time with our family.
We also love Shabbat because we go around the table and everyone says their Dvar Torah and everyone listens to you about the parsha.
That all week we work and we struggle and we're tired and we're worn out and we're exhausted, and the rush on Friday is Shabbat comes in, especially when it comes in at 4 o'clock. We're running and we're jumping and we're working and we're doing and we're screaming, hopefully not, and finally Shabbat comes in and there's quiet, serenity, Kedusha. That is what Shabbat means. Shabbat means that all the hustle and bustle of the week, it stops. And now is your time to focus on Hashem and the Kedusha of your home and your family. And Bezrat Hashem, it should energize you for the week to come.
Shabbat is so special to me because whenever we eat with our family,
and like we sleep late, so it's like really nice.
I love Shabbos because I get to spend time with my family and make delicious desserts.
I like to help my parents with setting up the table and washing the dishes.
Lights, camera, action! Light the Shabbos candle.
18 minutes before sunset.
Every girl 3 and up.
And light the world.
Call 1-800-CANDLES to get your free candles today.
Shabbat is a holy day, and it's connected to Geula. One way it's connected to Geula is by Briata Olam.
Each day of creation was considered 1,000 years. Mashiach's arrival is supposed to be in the year 6,000, but we believe Mashiach should come today.
So if we know that every day of creation was considered 1,000 years, that means on the 6,000 year, on Friday, Mashiach is sure to be arriving. And on the 7,000 year, which is Shabbat, Mashiach will already be here and will be in times of Geula. Thank you.
I help my mom and my dad with the preparations of Shabbat by I take care of my little brother for like a little while, so my mom can like take a head start, and then I like cook a meal or make salads and I set the table up. I like to help my parents with making food for Shabbat by making bakshan asaba.
I love the day of Shabbat because it's a day of rest and we don't have to worry about anything going wrong.
I love the day of Shabbat because I get to spend it with my family and I don't have to worry about anything, like getting to school on time or going to work on time. Shabbat, Shabbat, Yom Menucha, Shabbat, Shabbat Kodesh. Shabbat, Shabbat, Yom Menucha, Shabbat, Shabbat Kodesh.
I love Shabbat because when my family sits on the table and we spend time together, and I also love Shabbat because when I sleep and we have no school, and also when my mom prepares all the food, and I love her yummy food.
There was a beautiful sunny day and the sky was blue, and then suddenly there was a huge amount of flakes, snowflakes that were coming down from the sky. And this Friday morning that we were actually in a car driving suddenly became a really dangerous drive. And the hours flew by, Shabbat is coming closer, and we're stuck on this highway with snow, slippery cars, everyone is skidding. Our hosts are asking us, where are we? We were traveling in Toronto on Erev Shabbat. And then we looked at our watch and we had 1 hour left for Shabbat. And at first we weren't even worried, but then the time was flying by, the snow was getting stronger, and we were still on the highway. And as we turned off the exit, all we had left were 15 minutes. And our host told us the quickest route to take. But then Shabbat arrived. We took our key, pulled up to a driveway, and placed the key under the tire of our car. Another car pulled into the driveway of a strange building, and we asked him if he was Jewish. And when he said no, we asked him if it was possible for him to take our car with all of our luggage and with our passports and money to our destination, because now we needed to walk in snow that was till our knees. And the guy looked at us and he said, I don't believe it. How is it possible for you to trust me with all of your belongings? But you know what? I don't believe that there is such a great God in the world that has such a great nation, that if God says keep Shabbat, and you, the Jewish people, keep Shabbat. And we walked knee-deep in the snow on that Shabbat with nothing but our coats. And later at night, this guy, the driver, came with our car and our belongings. And as he arrived, he saw about 25 people standing in the street to greet him. And it was he that saluted to us. And he said, wow for a God that has a Jewish nation that keeps Shabbat. And we know that minehu mitbarchin kol yomin, that when we keep Shabbat, Shabbat protects us and blesses us.
It's a time to spend time with our family, and it's a holy day that Hashem finished creating the world, and we get to watch the Shabbat candles be lit.
Well, I love Shabbat because I get to spend time with my family.
Do you want your makeup to last the entire Shabbat? Yes! Well, Shabbat makeup can really solve your problem. Here's a sample.
Thank you so much, you're so kind.
Before you apply regular makeup, you have to apply a layer of Shabbat foundation. Go. The results are beautiful. Call 177 Shabbat Makeup. Buy one, get one free!
Remember, put the makeup on before Shabbat. Do not put makeup on Shabbat.
Don't forget to call 177 Shabbat Makeup!
I love Shabbat because I get to spend time with my family, and we go to the park and the shul, and it's very fun.
I like Shabbat because I spend time with my siblings.
I help my parents by cleaning the table and washing it, and setting up the Shabbat table and cleaning the whole house. I love Shabbat because it's a time to rest and a time to spend time with your family.
Here are some basic instructions for how to make a 3, 4, and 5 braided challah. Hope you enjoy! For the 4-stranded challah, take the 4 pieces of dough and put them in the form of a tic-tac-toe board. But the 2 pieces that go across should have 1 piece over the ones that go down and on the opposite side. It should be under. Then start from the top and cross the strands over clockwise. And when you reach the top again, cross them over counterclockwise. Continue these steps until you can't cross the strands over anymore. Then tuck the loose ends to the bottom, and there you go, the simple and easy 4-stranded challah.
To make a 5-strand challah braid, you take the left piece, put it over the one next to it, under the one next to that, and over the one next to that. You continue the over-under process further.
I love Shabbat because I get to spend time with my family, and it's a resting day. Also, I get to tell my Devar Torah and how my Chazan taught me in school.
I enjoy Shabbat because I get to spend time with my family and friends.
Every Shabbat, me and my family sing Mizmor David Bagarabad, and I will sing part of it here right now. Mizmor David Hashem Ho'ilachsa B'inot Deshe Yabitzeni. I love Shabbat because I spend time with my family, and I like to do different Torah with them too. I love Shabbat because it's a special time that you can spend time with your family, you can relax, and think about Malka.
So Shabbat's special because I like to eat with my family and say Devar Torah.
Today, I am speaking to you from my Shabbat kitchen. As we talk, I can smell the delicious aroma of my challah. And soon, the salmon will go in and all the other delicious Shabbat delicacies. When Shabbat begins, after lighting the Shabbat candle, I take a deep breath, and all the memories of the past week settle within me. The beautiful midot tovot that I see in Yeshiva Sha'arei from one student to another, the beautiful words of Amat Yisrael that I constantly hear, I get to reflect on them and take them in. This is so heartwarming. About a year and a half ago, Shabbat took on a whole different role as my husband and I moved to an area in Brooklyn called Greenpoint, an area where there's many Jews, but my husband and myself and one other family are the only Shomer Shabbat families in the area. Many Jews, but hardly any of them have studied Torah or have ever kept Shabbat. When we first moved here, my husband and I would walk to the nearest Chabad house shul about a half hour away. And after returning, we would sit by our Shabbat table, and it was only my husband and myself. So we would go out to the streets and we would start inviting people in. We would say to them, "Excuse me, are you Jewish? Would you like to join our Shabbat meal?" And we've had, over the year and a half, one person come in and another person come in, until Be'ezrat Hashem this Shabbos, we're expecting 15 guests that do not usually keep Shabbat, and here they will be coming, enjoying a meal, and learning Divrei Torah. Be'ezrat Hashem, with all of our good deeds, we'll be zochet to the Yom Shekulo Shabbat, the time of Mashiach, immediately when the whole world will be at peace, rest, and being able to connect to Hashem.
I love Shabbat because out of all the days of the week, parents go to work and kids go to school. But on Shabbat, we rest and we get to sit with our family together and say Devar Torah. That's why I love Shabbat.
We love Shabbat because we can spend time with our family,
Say Devar Torah
and eat delicious food that our mom makes
in honor of Shabbat.
I love Shabbat because it's so important to me and how Hashem gave us an opportunity to love Shabbat and give a spiritual rest, not a physical. We should take all our money and business, put aside away of all the Gashmi and stuff, and have a Ruchni rest. Compared to the 7 days, 6 days of creation and 1 day of rest, that's why I love and value Shabbat and why it's so important to me.
And another custom that my father always does is he brings my mom flowers, and she always puts it on the Shabbat table, which always makes it a little bit nicer. Even though it's just a bouquet of flowers, it means a lot to us.
I love Shabbat because I can always help my parents, and I can rest, and I can go to shul, and I'm much closer to Hashem. For Shabbat, I always take care of my brother, so my mom could prepare the table nicely. And I always help my mom with the spoons, forks, and plates. And that's how I really love Shabbat. I get to spend more time with my family, and I'm much closer to Hashem.